And you might have seen earlier today, I tweeted, Apple released this adventure video with The Rock featuring Siri. So naturally that got me to click it. I mean, it's a movie featuring Siri. What could possibly go wrong? So I clicked it, I watched it, and it was actually pretty well done. It was interesting. I'll link it below if you want to watch the whole thing. And then of course it also got me thinking, Siri did a lot in that video, and it made me wonder if Siri can actually do all of the things that The Rock asked it to do in that adventure. So iOS 11, latest update, build number 3, I've decided to see if this can actually do everything that they asked of it. I also realized that's probably exactly what Apple wants you to do after watching this, because it's basically an ad for Siri. But hey, what the heck, let's try it.
Hey Siri, read my schedule.
You have 25 appointments at 7:15,
Oh, look.
7:20,
You're on the telly.
Hey Siri, read my schedule.
There's nothing to read.
Okay, so I don't use Apple Calendar quite as much as apparently The Rock does, but if I did, they would all show up there just like that.
Hey Siri, show me my life goals list.
I found 10 reminders.
Thank you very much.
Hey Siri, show me my life goals list.
I found 5 reminders. The first one is drive a Bugatti. Then, take a 50-megapixel selfie.
Okay, so this shows reminders specifically from Apple's Reminders app. So if you use the Reminders app and you go in and you create a new list with a certain name, then Siri can recall anything from that list and show it to you at any time. So yeah, I made one called Life Goals and I asked it to show it and it worked.
Hey Siri, give me a Lyft ride to LAX.
Lyft can get you a lift in 60 seconds.
Okay, so I don't have Lyft, but you can get it to do the exact same thing with the Uber app. This is actually one of the more recent improvements to Siri, actually reaching inside supported apps and taking action within them.
Uber can get you a VIP in 3 minutes. Do you want to request it?
Yes.
Hey Siri, what's the temperature in Rome today?
The high temperature for today in Rome will be 80 degrees, and the low will be 59 degrees.
So this one's pretty straightforward. Weather card is like the standard demo question. Of course that works. Also, The Rock, you're literally hijacking a plane at this point during your adventure, so maybe reconsider, maybe put like a disclaimer like don't try this at home or something like that.
Hey Siri, read me my last email.
At 9:30 a.m., Visvin sent you an email about Mr. Nakamura can discuss your fashion line.
So this Siri command will not work for you if you use Gmail or a Yahoo Mail or any other mail service or third-party app or anything like that. You have to use Apple Mail. If you do, then it will work. Apparently The Rock also uses Apple Mail.
Hey Siri, show me photos of my fashion line. Hiroka-san, what do you think?
It doesn't really matter what I think. What do you think?
So if I ask Siri for pictures of something, it's just gonna Google it.
Here are some images of German shepherds I found on the web.
Oh, my bad. Actually, it Bings it. It Bing searches for your photos. But if I say, show me photos of my fashion line, it just shows the first Bing search results for my fashion line, which is just random clothes. But when The Rock shows the phone to Mr. whatever his name was, it clearly is not Siri anymore. It's this all white background. So that looks like it's in his gallery. If he did all that with Siri, he'd have to say something like, show me my photos of clothes, or something like that to trigger Siri to open the gallery. So the language he uses in that clip isn't quite perfect.
Hey Siri, text Chef Ludo. I want to cook.
Hey Siri, text Dwayne. Nice commercial, bro.
Your message to Dwayne Johnson says, nice commercial, bro. Ready to send it.
Yes. So yes, you can send text messages with Siri, but also not shown as you do have to do a follow-up to make sure you actually want to send it.
Hey Siri, how many ounces in a centiliter?
1 centiliter is 0.34 fluid ounces.
Je sens ce que l'Europe nous mijote.
Okay, first time I heard this, I thought he was asking how many ounces in a centimeter, which obviously that's not a thing, but what he's asking is how many ounces in a centiliter. That's a pretty standard conversion question. Siri handles that just fine, no problem.
Hey Siri, play my practice playlist.
So this again only works with Apple Music. So you can have all the Spotify and SoundCloud and Tidal playlists you want, but if you ask Siri to play music, it will look in Apple Music. So technically this is possible, again, assuming The Rock uses Apple Music along with all the rest of those Apple services.
Hey Siri, take a selfie. Hope I don't cause an eclipse.
So this command actually triggers Siri opening the front-facing camera, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't actually press the shutter button and take a selfie though. That actually has to be done with the on-screen button, which is impossible when you're in space wearing gloves. Or I'm assuming what he does here is squeeze the volume button to trigger the shutter, and that actually does take a picture. The bigger problem is the caseless iPhone in space. But overall, at the end of the day, Siri scored pretty well actually against its ad. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what that is. This is a Siri ad. I think the main takeaway here is it's pretty similar to those shot on iPhone commercials. Technically, yes, most of this will work, but that sequences shortened little blurb at the end is pretty important. Pretty much everything in the commercial happens instantly. In real life with Siri, even on the latest version of iOS 11, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. And you're also gonna have to use pretty much all Apple services for Siri to talk to it. But for the most part, it works. I think people might be surprised how much better Siri has gotten in the past couple months. I'm looking forward to comparing it again with like pretty much the rest of voice assistants. Google Assistant in its latest form, maybe Alexa, maybe throw in Bixby Voice for fun. That could be its own separate video. In the meantime though, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. The Rock, if you're watching this, if you're one of those people watching, I heard you have a YouTube channel now. That's pretty cool. Maybe if you wanna collab on some tech related stuff, that could be fun. Just let me know. Hit me up on FaceTime. That's pretty much it. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. Hey Siri. Seriously, I want your best joke.
The past, present, and future walk